Hello my quilting friends, Leah Day here with a new Quilty box video. I just received the latest Quilty box and it's full of awesome gear from byannie.com. So let's check out what came in the box and what we're gonna make with it. So just in case you've never heard of Quilty Box, basically it's a box of cool quilting gear that arrives every month. Subscriptions cost between $44 and $48 and it's always filled with at least $50 worth of quilting supplies. So this month it's curated by byannie.com and they put together a really awesome stash of materials. First thing we've got is a Stash and Dash organizer. This is a kit that comes with everything that you need, the stabilizer, and I think it's got some buckles and zippers and a strip of the material that holds it all together, all of that together. And we've got some mesh fabric, so it's kind of see-through mesh. That'll be kind of cool to piece with. Beautiful green zipper. I love that color. And check out this fabric. It's fat quarters. Let's see, Makeover UK, the Henley Studio. I'm gonna unwrap it because I've been really excited to see all the different beautiful prints that they've included. Got these bright flowers, perfect for spring. A really nice stripe. I really like this one. This is so pretty, and just looking at that little vine, I know I could quilt along that and maybe hit some of these flowers. That's already making me think of a quilt to make. Some beautiful blue and teardrops. So I'm going to take a look at all of this, figure out what I want to make with it. I'm really tempted, having all these beautiful fat quarters and this cool kit, I'm really tempted to make this organizer. I think it'll be a really fun project. So I'm going to take a look at everything and I'll be right back with what I decide to make. So I have decided that I am going to make this organizer. It just looks like a really fun project, and because we already have everything that's needed, it's going to be really easy to put together too. And I realized after I unfolded these, the fabric is actually half yards. So it's actually more than enough than you're going to need to do this whole project. You could probably even make multiple of these with the materials. You'll need more of the kind of squishy batting material, obviously more zippers and all that kind of stuff, but you could probably make a few if you had those other things on hand. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut out my fabric, and you can see the fabric that I chose for the, this is actually going to be the right side of the organizer, and this is going to be the inside of the organizer where the pockets are. But I'm going to quilt from this side, and I'm just going to run my quilting lines following these little vines. So I'm going to go grab some green thread and show you how this works in free motion. So I pulled up thread in this, more or less in the center of this panel, and I'm just quilting along those green vine lines and then around every shape. And I just really love this print. I love it when everything connects and I can easily move around the fabric. The nice thing is I don't have to worry about quilting super close to the edges because we're going to trim this piece down, and I can also be creative. So I've got these little leaves right here and they're pretty plain, but I could spice them up. I could kind of quilt inside of them with a little flame shape and then quilt around them. You can start branching out and adding more texture to the surface, not just what's there in the fabric design. So I've zoomed in just a little bit so you can see better. Now I'm going to work my way around these leaves. They're pretty tiny, so I'm probably not going to put anything inside of them. But really, the sky's the limit here. You can stitch this up a notch however you want to. I like quilting in over fabrics like this because it's already a marked design. I don't have to do any extra marking or any extra work for it. I can just follow what's there on the fabric. As far as a few tips for free motion quilting like this, I am wearing gloves. That helps me have good control over the fabric. I also have a Supreme slider, that's this Teflon sheet, that is over the machine bed, and that helps the quilt move really smoothly and easily over the surface. I have dialed my stitch length down to 0, and I don't drop my feed dogs for free motion quilting just because I find that I get better tension by leaving them up. But every machine is different. It's really worth playing with your machine and just seeing what works best. there's no right or wrong, setting for your machine, basically. You can do anything that it needs to in order to just get it to work. So this is how I'm going to quilt this panel, just working through. Sometimes I think I'll fill in the shapes, fill in the leaves, and sometimes I might leave them empty. I don't think there's a wrong or right way to do this, and it doesn't need to be super tightly or densely secured. Just enough to hold the 3 layers together. So here is the finished fabric panel that's been quilted, and I just went around all these different shapes. It took a little while to quilt it, but I just really love this effect, and I love the kind of cushy definition that you got from the material that we used in the center. It's like a foam, and it really looks good. On the back, I have these subtle quilting lines. I love that the green kind of blends in with the green in the fabric, and it still looks great. So this is a really fun experiment. So the next step is to cut this down and start putting together all the different pieces. Just want to follow the pattern. There is a lot of pieces to this, a lot of cutting, a lot of meticulous sewing, but none of it's super tough. So just take your time with it and have lots of fun, and I'll show you what it looks like when I finish up my organizer next. So here's my finished bag. This was such a fun project. Look at all of these little things. We've got 3 zippered pouches through here. If I flip it over, we've got a little vinyl, clear vinyl pouch right here. And check out the quilting design. This just really, I think, is what made it for me. Following all of these little flowers and stuff, it really stands out. I'm very glad that I chose to put this side of the fabric facing out on the outside layer, because as you can see, once you cover with the mesh, you really can't see the fabric as well. So I think it just came out so pretty. And I used the stripe as my binding, my contrast fabric, and that came out good too. I can't tell you how delighted I am with this cute little project. And the nice thing is, it'll be the perfect size for keeping all my makeup and skincare products nicely organized for travel. And then you can just buckle it, just run it through the buckle here, and that will keep it all organized and nice and neat. So that's it for this video. I had so much fun this month creating this little stash and dash organizer. I know I'm going to be using mine for travel, but I'm really tempted to make another one just to keep all of my sewing supplies like thread, needles, thimble, wonder clips, all that kind of stuff organized whenever I'm doing a handwork project too. So I think I'll be making many more of these, and I really encourage you to give this pattern a try. It's very well written. It's very clear on the instructions. I never struggled with a single step, but you do have to, go through it and check off each step at a time, because there's a lot of little pieces with this pattern, a lot of little things to put into it. It was so much fun to put together, and I'm definitely going to be checking out more patterns from byannie.com. Of course, if you'd like to get a box of fun, cool quilting gear every single month, definitely check out quiltybox.com so you can subscribe and begin challenging yourself to get quilty every single month. My name is Leah Day, and if you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe, and until next time, let's go quilt.